Great. The recording has started, which means the meeting has officially started, and I will turn it over to our Alumni Association Board President, Nicholas Moran. Oh, you're muted.
Unmuted. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see you, hear from you, and share this virtual space together. Welcome to our first, truly 100% virtual board meeting for the Alumni Association during our transitional virtual year. I thought that it would be really useful for everyone to have an opportunity to introduce yourself. I'll ask that you share your name, your pronouns, what year and degree from Point Park you are, maybe where you're located at this point in time. And also we had identified a couple kind of thought-provoking questions. I asked that you pick one to use as part of your introduction, be it something that you want to accomplish, what brought you to the board, or what you'd like to learn through your membership this year. And just keep it simple, short, just because there are a lot of us today, and we are going to be working through a lot of updates, ideas, and things of the sort. So I'll go really quickly as a model. My name is Nick. My pronouns are they, them. I am located in New York City. I am a graduate from 2015 in the psychology department, and I hope to accomplish a more inclusive and representative board of our Point Park alumni population through virtual alumni engagement to create a community of all of us across the world.
Fabulous. So to keep this organized, I'm just going to go via roll call alphabetically, and then once the alumni board has introduced themselves, the alumni engagement and giving team will do their introductions. So first on our list is Bombadil. I'm not sure if you're here, but if you are, will you unmute and introduce yourself? Bombadil? Okay, we're going to move on. Hopefully he'll catch up. Is James Baker on? James? No? Okay. How about Emily Bizak?
Hey guys, I'm here. Racing for the mute button. Hi, my name is Emily Bizak. Her. I graduated in 2010 with a business management degree. I'm located here in Pittsburgh. This will be, I guess, my 4th year on the board, and I look to accomplish. I just love staying connected to Point Park because it was such a wonderful time for me, and I feel like every time I go to Point Park, there's just a feeling that I just love, and I think the people that go to Point Park are just really cool. So I want to stay connected and help continue that in this crazy world we live in.
Hi, this is Anthony. Is Stephanie frozen on all of your screens as well?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Gotcha. I was like, what's the long pause for?
Since you're already talking, Anthony, you can go ahead and introduce yourself. You can just continue on.
Okay, great. No problem. So I'm Anthony Kostoulis. I'm he, him, graduated in 2012. A political science major. This is my first year on the board. And what brought me to the group was Nick's Facebook page. He put out a shout out for people to apply, and that's what got me here. And I'd really love to work to connect student orgs on campus to the alumni bases that exist, because student orgs were so important to me when I was there. So that'd be a lot of fun. So, nice to meet y'all. Talk to you soon.
Sorry, of course, I had technical issues. Of course. I'm back. Anthony, you just go?
I did. You
Yeah.
missed it. But I'll send it to you in an email. I'll just give you a short shout out.
Perfect. So did we jump over Kathy Calhoun?
Yeah, Anthony was talking, so I just let him go. I just continued on.
Perfect.
What else
Thank
is new?
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and go. Thank you, Stephanie. So I'm Kathy Calhoun. I actually went to Point Park twice. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2007, and then I loved it so much I went back for my master's and graduated in 2012. My pronouns is she, her, and the reason I joined the board just was because I wanted to stay, of course, connected to Point Park in some way. And I love that, the things that we do with the alumni. And as being an alum, coming to some of the events that the Alumni Association was hosting, I really enjoyed it and wanted to be a part. So here I am now, and I look forward to working with you. I think this is my second year now. So, yay.
That's excellent. Thanks so much, Kathy. Carrie?
Good evening and good afternoon, depending on where you're located. Carrie Carbone. I graduated in '96 from journalism communications, and then again in 2000 with an MBA from the International Business Program. I've been on the board, I think this is going into year 7, I think. Sorry, I lost track. And I'm just hoping to get a few things accomplished that we couldn't quite get done before, and maybe work some programs between businesses, alumni businesses, and current students, and maybe do some different fundraising things as well.
That's great. Thank you so much. Arian, are you on the call? Nope. How about Kelly?
Hi. Wait, am I on?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kelly Kosha. I'm she, her. I graduated in 2001, and I think I'm with Carrie Carbone. I think this is my 6th or 7th year on the board. It's definitely the 5th, if at least the 5th year. And my reason for joining the board was that Point Park was a wonderful experience. And every time I go back, I feel like I'm walking into home. And I just wanted to get involved and reach out to, the alumni and the current students. And my degree is in journalism and mass communication, and I live right down the street from the college. I live in downtown here.
Perfect. Great. Thanks so much, Kelly. Amber, are you on the call? Nope. No, Amber. How about Colton?
Yep. Hey guys. So my name's Colton Gill. He, him pronouns. I graduated in 2017 in the Sports Arts and Entertainment Management program. I currently live in Pittsburgh. I believe it's my 2nd or 3rd year on the board, so still relatively new, but excited to see what comes, especially under its new regime and all the new stuff that's going to be going on. What brought me to the board is I loved my experience at Point Park, but in the 4 years I was there, I saw a positive change, and so I see board involvement in the Alumni Association as being a way to continue that positive change and to affect that from my perspective being an alumni.
That's great. Perfect. Thanks so much. Angela.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm having a ton of difficulties. I had to switch devices. Can you hear and see me okay?
We can.
Hi. Okay. So, problem child, sorry. I am a 2-time Point Park alum. She, her are my pronouns. I graduated in 2010 with a broadcasting degree and 2018 with an MBA. I am currently a staff member at Point Park. So I'm very, very excited to be here and kind of bridge the gap, because I'm also the co-chair of our staff community engagement committee. And I'm very, very excited to do volunteering, bringing alumni, staff, and students all together to one big, giant Point Park community. And it makes me very happy to be here. So nice to meet you all.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Stephanie. Stephanie Hannah, you on the call? I know she wasn't feeling well today. No, I don't think she's on the call. How about Mary? Mary Josephowski? Nope. How, David, I know you're on the call, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to talk to us. Oh, look, he was ready. If you check out your chat box, David put a little intro of himself in that chat box. Thank you so much. That was very clever. Next on our list, April. April, are you on the call? Nope, no April either. How about Nicole? Nicole, I definitely saw you sign in.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. This is Nicole Martin. I am multiple graduate like Angela. I actually spent pretty much my entire adult life with Point Park. I graduated in '96 with my undergrad in communication. And then I had my first master's degree in 2008 with curriculum and instruction. And my second master's, the opposite. First one was organizational leadership, not so organized. And the second one was because I figured, hey, keep going, curriculum and instruction, which I feel like my graduation date was like 2014 or something like that. My pronouns are she and her. And like Angela said, I'm just super excited to be able to be involved. For a number of years, we were told staff could not participate. And I was like, well, that's not fair because we're the biggest proponents of Point Park. So super excited to be involved. I'm very active in a lot of the staff committees as well as our staff assembly. So my goal is helping this current staff work with alumni to get everyone all excited to move our initiatives and our mission forward. So I work in the admissions office. My title is Director of Enrollment Operations. So all the admissions that we do, undergrad, grad, online, I have a finger in it somehow. So I'm hoping that we can forge a relationship to get alumni more active in recruiting. So that's my goal.
That's great. Wonderful. Thanks so much, Nicole, for being here today. Raina, are you on the call? And if she too.
I am here.
Oh, you're here. Wonderful.
Hello. Hi. I'm Raina McGrath, she, her. I graduated from Point Park College in 2002. I was a theater major. I got my BFA. I'm currently located at this very moment outside of Philadelphia, but we also have a summer house, which due to quarantine and COVID-19, we had spent about half the year in. So we're half the year in South Jersey and half the year in Philadelphia. I think this is my third year on the board. I was thinking I might have to ask Lauren, what's my year? I think it's my third year. The reason I joined, I think is because we were coming upon lights out at the Playhouse. We knew that the Playhouse was going to be torn down. And that was just such a special place for me and for so many of my friends. And I really wanted to be involved in that. And I wanted to let as many alumni know that was happening and get every graduation year present. And I think everyone did a really good job at accomplishing that. And it was a great event. And I think that continues in my goal now. I've lived all over this country, and everywhere I go, I feel like I meet somebody who went to Point Park, and I'm always surprised that someone went to my tiny little college in Pittsburgh. But I think, if we continue to work harder with the community engagement, with the alumni outreach, that we can really get a good group of folks that can stay connected to Point Park.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Raina. Next up is Karen. Karen, are you on the call?
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Melissa, and she, her for my pronoun. And like Raina, I graduated from Point Park College in 1995 with my BFA in musical theater. And I really wanted to join the board for two reasons. Carrie Carbone is my old roommate from college and is also on this call. And also just because I live in Orlando and there are a ton of Point Parkers in this part of the world. And I think it would be really great to have a movement here in the South and really get the alumni engaged and motivated here. So I wanted to be a part of that.
That's great. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Next, Nick, you went. Next, we have Nicolette. Are you on the call?
Hi, yes, I'm here. My name is Nikki, and my pronouns are she, her. Graduated in Point Park in 2017. I was a sports arts entertainment management major as well. I am located right here in Pittsburgh in the South Hills, so not too far. And kind of why I'm here is like echoing what everyone else has said. I really, felt like Point Park was home. I had such a great experience at Point Park, and mentorship is something that I'm 100% interested in. So that's kind of what brought me to the board. Is I love to connect with current students and help them get to where they want to go.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Shauna, are you here?
I am. Hi, good evening. My name is Shauna Reed. My pronouns are she, her. I graduated in 2008 with degrees in SAEM and psychology. I'm originally from the suburbs of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I now call Denver, Colorado home. And I think I've reconnected, like many others have said, because I have an immense gratitude for the ways in which the alumni have positively impacted my experience at Point Park. And I think I'm just really interested in connecting alumni from afar through satellite activities, extending the concept of community, and cultivating resources for current students that are seeking future opportunities.
That's phenomenal. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Next, we have Christina.
Hi there, Christina Richter. I am a master's graduate of 1995. My pronouns are she and her. I think what inspired me is Lauren actually came to visit me. I'm in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. She came to visit me, and it really got me thinking about, it's my turn to give back. Point Park has a special place in my heart. I grew up in Butler County, didn't have a lot of opportunity. And when I went there, my world just opened up. And I want to make sure that other young people get those opportunities. So it's my turn to give back. And I just wanted to give Stephanie, Barbara a shout out. You guys do so well in re-engaging us. I think for me, I'm in the fundraising space, and we've talked about, how can we start finding more people to, give treasure, time, and talents, and obviously gifts at some point. So very excited, and any way I can help reconnect people.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christina. Thanks for being here. Tammy, are you with us tonight?
Tammy actually mentioned that she wouldn't be able to make it.
Oh, thank you for that, Nick. Next is Adam. Adam, you're next on our list.
Hi, everybody. How are you? My name is Adam Sapienza. I am, let's say I graduated in 2009 with a degree in theater arts. I live up here in the great state of Maine, where we call ourselves vacation land. So I get to live wherever on vacations. I have a passion for Point Park. I loved my time there, and I really want to be part of creating satellite groups and alumni networks outside of Pennsylvania, because I know that there are alums up here. I know that there are other people that shared the experience, and I'm really passionate about seeing what we can do to get those people together and connect them back to the mothership, as I call it. Though this would be my first year on the board too.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for joining, Adam. We really appreciate it. Next is Stephanie Schmader. Are you on the call? I haven't heard from Stephanie. Nope. Doesn't look like it. How about Ken?
Did you say Ken?
I did.
Ken,
are you here?
All right. Yeah. Lots of familiar faces here. Ken Selig, he, him, his, journalism and mass comm, Spring 97, longtime listener, first time caller. I'm in the New York metro area. I've been out here more or less since graduation, which is, a good 20 years at this point. Arian has been encouraging me for a few years to join the board. Lauren has been encouraging me for a couple of years to join the board. Kelly posted something on Facebook that was kind of a reminder, tickler. And so here I am. For a very long time, before we started having official events in New York, or at least before I was aware of them, there were certain faculty members who would kind of ping me when, students were coming out for the broadcast convention, for the advertising competition, whatever. And I would come out and hang out with students. And, those faculty members are starting to retire. And I wanted to keep that engagement up and see what else I could do.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you joined the board, Ken. Thank you.
Me too.
We're going to go back to Stephanie. She was muted. Now she's unmuted.
Yeah, I was double muted. So hi, everyone. Stephanie Schmader, pronouns are she and her. I am a 1998 business management major. I was a non-traditional student. Took me a while to get there working full time, but I did graduate in 98. I was actually on the alumni board back in early days, 2001, 2002 timeframe, I believe, when my kids were small. And that was when the transformation was really happening. And in fact, when I joined, we were still Point Park College, and I saw that transition into university, as well as the transformation of the school itself. So quite exciting. Over the years, while my kids were growing up, lots of journeys back to the campus. My kids did a lot of workshops. They had mentors at Point Park through different programs, and my daughter was actually in a dance program there. So lots of time spent back. Just love the environment, and also I'm a mentor for Strong Women, Strong Girls. My mentee is, for the last 2.5 years, has been an undergrad at Point Park. So been on campus quite a bit, and I actually reached out to folks here on the phone and said, hey, I'd like to rejoin. Learned a lot more about what's been going on over the last several years, tremendous progress with the board, and I'm happy to be part of it again. My passion is mentorship and coaching, and I do think our students today, given the current climate, do need more of that through this. This is unique times. None of us have been through this before. And I think the more that we can reach out and connect with them, because they're not able to maybe do some of the connections that they've had in the past, will really be beneficial.
Thank you, Stephanie. We totally agree with you. So we are definitely on the same wavelength for that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for joining us again. We have new members joining. Don't worry, we're going to get back to you. I'm going to keep going through with the roll call. Next is Julian on the call. Julian, are you with us tonight? Okay. How about Matt? Are you with us? I think I saw you.
I'm here.
Great.
I graduated in 2019 with a BFA in theater production, concentrated in stage management. Currently located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Philly. And then what brought me to the board is I was very involved on campus throughout college, and just wanted to come back to the board and to get more involved, and also to bring newer alumni onto the board and keep that connection with the college.
That's great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining. Next up, we have Barb.
Barb, is this Barb?
That Barb.
Am I the only Barb except for Barbara?
Yeah, that's right, you are.
Okay. So I'm Barb Waxenfelder. I was a non-traditional student, graduated in 1998, raising 3 kids and working full-time with a Bachelor of Science in Health Services. I'm from the Pittsburgh area. I actually live about 10 minutes from the airport, which is a great location. My goal for this year, hopefully and next, is to implement my baby. Stephanie knows what that is, something I've been thinking about for 3 or 4 years. We've been talking about. I've been on the board, by the way, for probably 5 or 6 years, but who's counting? You lose track when you're having so much fun. But we've been talking about reinitiating a alumni of distinction award. So it's something you'll hear about a little bit later in the meeting, but that's kind of my goal. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Barb. Cameron, Cameron, are you on the call?
I am. Yes.
Great.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Cameron York. I'm first year to the board. I go by she and her. So I have been at Point Park. I have a career in education, and I went back to Point Park for, I should say back to Point Park. I went to Point Park for my doctorate degree and just finished this spring. And while at Point Park working on my doctorate, I was a graduate assistant within the School of Education. And so during that time, I had the pleasure of working at the university and attending school. So I just joined the School of Education as full-time faculty. And so I teach with a lot of our undergraduate teacher certification students. And so I'm not sure where I fit on the board, but I will say I have a huge passion for our students and their sense of belonging and connectedness. To some of the points that people have already made, there is a sense of, it's just bizarre. It's not the same campus that we know. It's not the same campus that we love just because of the protocols with the pandemic. So it's something that I'm actively working on, at least with my classes and my students, and trying to find ways to keep them engaged, working with my past students that are juniors and seniors, and trying to get them to connect with some of our freshmen and transfer students so that they, as we know, going off to college and being a new student and embarking on this independence is challenging enough. But there's a lot of our students that are currently living alone in their own dorm rooms, can't really connect in certain social situations like they have in the past. And so I do think that's a part that we can really play and hopefully trying to foster some of these connections so that they do have that sense of belonging at a university that we obviously all love very much. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thanks, Cameron. I think you absolutely know your place on this board. That was well said. And I think there's some work that we can all do on all of that. So thank you so much. Glad you're here with us.
Thank you.
So we're going to go back. I know for sure that I missed Bombadil, and I'm pretty sure I saw Mary sign on. So Bombadil, if you'll unmute and introduce yourself, that would be wonderful.
Hi, my name is Bamidel. I'm so extremely excited to see you guys. First of all, I'm so happy to be part of the board again. And just a brief introduction about myself. I graduated last year from my MBA, and my concentration was in information systems. I was part of back in school, back in college, I was part of the WPPJ. I was part of the Black Student Union member, and I was the Distinguished Student Award recipient for last year. So I'm extremely, honored to be part of this year's alumni member, and then I look forward to, joining the groups. I'm extremely passionate as well. I love to work hard to contribute towards the growth objectives of wherever I find myself, just share ideas and do research. I like things like that, how we can make things get better. So I look forward to you guys putting me in any of your groups and learning from your expertise. And then I currently work with UPMC as a senior business intelligence analyst. It's more like a manager for strategy, innovation, product development, and commercialization. So, and I like it so far. Yeah, that's about it. I love to do exercise. I love to walk, jog, just run around sometimes when I'm not busy and all of that. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Bombadil. Good to see you again. Mary, are you on the call? Let's give her a second. Mary, did you sign off? Maybe she can't hear us. Maybe she can't talk. That's okay. I see that you joined the call, so it's good to have you here. And is there anybody else, any other alumni that you didn't get to introduce yourself? No, last call.
April's on.
April.
Yeah, somehow. Let me see. I'm also driving. It's probably. Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness! Please be safe.
I know.
Hi, Arian's on as well.
I know. Hi, everyone. I'm April. I'm so excited to just be back. I feel like I just miss everybody. I'm so glad to see everybody on it and all the new faces. We were going to have a wonderful year, I believe. But I just got on, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. But if it's the normal,
Plenty. That's plenty. You're driving.
I am. But if I was going to say, if it's a normal human resources, what I do. I have my undergrad and my graduate through Point Park organizational leadership and every probably area of human resource. Since I've been in human resource for 17 years now, I probably have touched on. So just a quick one.
Great. Thank you so much, April. So glad that you could join us.
Thank you.
And Arian, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, Arian here. There's a dog in the backyard, and I'm also making dinner on the grill, so I got a lot going on. It's good to see all of your faces. My name is Arian, and I graduated from class 2009 with degree in broadcast journalism, and I was on board last year. Happy to be on board again this year and work with all of you on our upcoming events and projects. Once I graduated, I also played for the Point Park women's soccer team. And once I graduated, I moved to New York, was working for live TV, and somehow I ended up still working for video in a financial firm for Morgan Stanley. So hello to everybody, and it's good to see all of you guys again.
Thanks so much, Arian. It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us while you're being so busy.
Yeah, trying to get my dinner ready for my 3-year-old too. So, we've been remote since March. I'm still remote in New York and still multitasking. It never stops.
Right? It's amazing. I get it. Well, thanks for being with us tonight. Anybody else? Any other alumni? Did we get everybody? All right, I'm going to move us on so we can keep going. I'm going to do quick introductions for the alumni engagement team. We have a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to kind of do a speed version of this. Most of you know our story. For those of you who don't know us, we are mostly a team filled with alumni engagement officers with our focus on really narrowing in on the one-to-one relationships, shying a little bit more away from our events and really focusing on creating, starting and growing and building relationships with our alumni base. So that's our focus as a team. I'll kick us off and then I will introduce the rest of my team. So I'm Stephanie Adamczak. I am the Assistant Vice President for the Office of Alumni Engagement and Giving. I am a 2005 graduate of the Conservatory of Performing Arts, and my mother is also a graduate of the Conservatory of Performing Arts, so we bleed green and gold, just like most of you, it sounds like. I've been with the university for just under 2 years now, and before that I was with Chatham University. And I'm so delighted to see you all. It's so wonderful to see all of you here tonight. So I'm going to pass it along to Lauren. Lauren, if you'll start the introductions.
Hello. I think I know most of you, but if I don't, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Lauren Steiner. I am an alumni engagement officer at Point Park. I've been with the university it's coming up on my 3rd anniversary. So my 3rd anniversary in the office, but I did graduate from the university in 2011. And in between those years, I was a part of the Alumni Association board until I got this job. So I kind of have a little bit of perspective from all angles, but it's so nice to see so many of you. Actually, it's so nice to see all of you. It's nice to see the ones that I haven't seen in a hot minute, especially the ones that don't live here in Pittsburgh. But thank you all for being here, and I'm really excited for this. So thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Lauren. Megan, are you on? Can you go next?
Hi, yes, I am. Hopefully you can see me now that I know my little bubble started talking.
Hi, my name is Megan Corder. I'm also an Alumni Engagement Officer. I'd like to apologize. I was a few minutes late to the meeting because I had shared with Stephanie I teach a section of University 101 for our freshman students that ended right about when this meeting was starting. So I think Cameron had mentioned earlier, the students are feeling, like it's a very different environment on campus this year as an instructor, but I think that they're, doing their best to make the most of it. So I am excited to work with all of you. Lauren had shared we have more focus areas that we work with specifically. So I'll just share mine briefly. I work with the School of Arts and Sciences alumni, the School of Education alumni, the Department of Community Engagement alumni, and then alumni of student organizations. I'm really passionate about student organizations and student leadership, as I feel I'm a product of that. So it's really exciting to kind of not only hear the alumni side from all of you, but get to meet you and hear your own stories about your involvements. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to a great year.
Thanks, Megan. Miss Barbara, can you go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So my name is Barbara Hip. I am an Alumni Engagement Officer. I am not an alumna of Point Park. I went to two little small schools in Michigan, one for my undergrad and one for my master's. But I am a Pittsburgh native. I have been with Point Park for a little over a year now. Megan and I started within a week of each other. And my focus areas are School of Communication, the Center for Media Innovation, the Honors Program, Athletic Department, and I work with the Center for Student Success. We collaborate on some efforts. So really excited for this new structure of the Alumni Board and everything like that, and happy to have all of you.
Thanks, Barbara. Courtney, I'm not sure if you're still with us.
I'm here.
Yay,
can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney List. My pronouns are she and her. I am an Alumni Engagement Officer and Phonathon Coordinator. It's actually why I'm working today. So I'm on campus, which is really cool. I have some students who want to wave hello. Yay! As you can tell, things look a little different here. I have been with university for a year and a half. Before working here, I was what year was that? 2019, PR and advertising graduate. And I'm currently an MBA student at the school. So excited to be working with all of you this year.
Thanks, Courtney. And I'm going to extend an introduction. I think we may have one of our students, our student workers on. Zoe, are you with us?
Hi guys.
You want to quickly introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So hi, my name's Zoe. I started out as a practicum student this past spring, and now I've kind of did a work study in the summer, and I'm also work studying in the fall. I see some familiar faces. I've definitely interviewed some of you for People Point Park. A lot of phone interviews, so it's nice to put some faces to the names. But yeah, I'm currently pursuing a mass communications degree, and I should be graduating summer 2021. Fingers crossed.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me. So nice to meet everyone.
Perfect. So I think that's it. I think we've gotten everybody. Is there anyone on the call who has not had an opportunity to introduce themselves? I think we got everybody. Thank you so much. We won't do that every meeting, promise, but since it's our first meeting with a lot of new faces, a lot of the first time you are seeing some of our faces, we thought it was important to take the time to do that. So I have one request before we go on. If you're comfortable, will you please turn your video on? I want to take our very first board portrait. So I'll give everybody a second. Go ahead and turn your cameras on if you don't mind. And Lauren's going to take it, so she'll tell us when she is ready. If you don't want to turn it on, no worries. No, you don't have to be a part of it, but the more the better. It is our first portrait of the year after all.
Okay, we ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we should be good.
Yeah, did you get it?
I got it as best I could.
Okay. All right. So as we move on to the next point, I just quickly want to say 3 things. As a reminder, your agenda is live. It has hyperlinks. As we go through it, you're more than welcome to follow along. For updates on COVID on campus, there is a hyperlink in your agenda, or maybe it was in your email that I sent along. If you have questions about what's going on with COVID on campus, how many cases campus has, any updates that have been sent to the university committee, please go ahead and visit that link. I also wanted to share 2 good news and bad news. So I will do bad news first so I can end with the good news. So because of the pandemic, it's important that you all know that Point Park is facing some pretty severe budget cuts, pretty intense. Most of us are being asked to slash our budgets dramatically, including looking at eliminating staff positions. We've been told that this will be a very challenging year and that it looks like Point Park will change radically in the next 3 years. This is in line with almost every other higher ed institution in our segment. We've been seeing this as a trend in higher ed for many years, but the pandemic has really lit a fire, and Point Park is no exception. And we are all working together to try to solve this problem. But we need you all more now than ever. Now more than ever, it is critical that the alumni board come together as a support for the alumni base and the Point Park community as a whole. So on a positive note, because of the good work of this team, I wanted to share with you that we dropped our fall appeal in the mail via USPS rather, about 2 weeks ago. And so far, we have raised approximately $14,000. Those funds are mainly for the Student Need Fund and for the newly created COVID-19 Response Fund. I will tell you, in my time here, I've never seen a week like that. So I think that's a huge, huge accomplishment for this team and a really good sign of what's to come. So a little celebration there. All right, next on our agenda, the commitment form. If you have the commitment form in front of you, if you'll please pull it up and take a quick look at it. I'm not going to obviously go over everything. Most of you have read it and signed it, which means you agree to all of it. I just wanted to point out that this board is meant to be a group of ambassadors, of advocates of Point Park, its alumni, and the university as a whole. That's spelled out pretty clearly in our in the mission statement and in the mission of the university, of the alumni board. I wanted to point out quickly that the mission statement itself, which is in that letter of commitment, has changed. This is the first academic year under this new mission. If you're interested in what the old mission was, I have it and I'm happy to share it with you. But this alumni board, this last year's alumni board, got the opportunity to provide feedback on what the creation of the new mission should be and would be, and eventually what it is now. So it was a really exciting opportunity for us to really get to speak to what we as the alumni base felt the mission of the university was. So I just wanted to highlight that as a really awesome example of how we get to participate in university initiatives. So before we move on, any questions about the letter of commitment that you all signed? I'm going to go ahead and move on to Nick. He has a few words to say to you all about advocacy.
Hi, everybody. It's so amazing to have you all here from all over the country, and just having so many bright, new, shiny faces is always so exciting, especially to kick off this next year. So one of the things that is a really big part of the upcoming year, as I see it, is advocacy, and advocacy within the realms of acknowledging our diverse alumni population. It's been a challenging year, not just with COVID, but with our political climate, with all of the unrest as it relates to the murders of Black individuals, and really reflecting on the systems that are in place that continue to perpetuate these really uncomfortable differences. And so as a part of our board goals and expectations, and something that I want to bring to this space and encourage you all to be engaged in as well, is engaging in that diversity, equity, and inclusion as it relates not just to Point Park, but in your own lives, and doing so through engagement and philanthropy. We, in the past, as a part of our commitment, have asked that all alumni board members give a financial gift. It's never been about the amount, just that we participate. And as my previous role as governance committee chair, there were 2 years in a row before COVID that I got 100% board participation. And I hope that we can do that again this year, especially when the university needs it so much. And I'm hoping that through our engagement, we can also bring to this board a more representative community of folks who represent all the colors of the rainbow, be it gender, sexual, racial, ethnic minorities, and be those ambassadors for students and connect with the university. And one of my goals is to continue these conversations with the senior administration. One of the reasons why I kind of found myself in this role is that I was really vocal at the beginning of George Floyd's death and everything that followed, calling the Point Park senior administration to speak to us, the alumni, specifically. In the past, all of our information came directly from the Office of Alumni Engagement and Giving. And really, my hope is to continue to create more open lines of communication. And now that we have staff and faculty and all of those folks engaged in our alumni board as well, I think that we're going to be able to really increase our reach and really double the impact. And so this year, we're really hoping that folks are really action oriented. Come to our virtual events, read the newsletters, read your emails, share on your social media, be engaged, and invite anyone that you know in your life to be a part of this board in whatever capacity they feel that they can contribute. You don't need to be fully committed for the 1 year at every meeting to be involved in event attendance, philanthropy, and engagement. So that's just kind of my short, brief 2 cents as it relates to those kinds of activities. You can certainly click on the hyperlink. It was my idea that since we're on this online platform, let's throw those links in so that we can just have that immediate link that we can share on our social media and really continue to put this product out amongst our alumni community.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Nick. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions or comments for Nick on any of that? We can always chat later. I'm going to keep moving us along. We have a packed agenda and we're running a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to speed us up a little bit. Next, we have a section called Point Park Presents. Now, if you've done your homework, you know that this is a play on words of programming that we already have that we offer to our alumni base. But with us tonight, we have Associate Provost Jonas Prida. Jonas, are you on?
I am.
Wonderful. He's going to give us a little demo of what students are learning on campus.
I'm going to do what? Sorry.
You're going to give us you're home. You're going to talk about Ladybug and HiFlex.
Oh, gladly. Hello, everybody. As Stephanie mentioned, I'm Jonas Prida, Assistant Provost. Curriculum runs through me, and as does education. My pronouns are he, him. I'm also lucky enough to run the Center for Inclusive Excellence. So a lot of diversity, inclusion, and equity ideas run through my office, which I'm always excited about. So what we're doing on campus as far as teaching people this semester has been quite interesting. It all started back in June when we didn't know what we were going to do. And so I did a little research and we stumbled on to some ideas that some people had been doing in other schools. One of them, as Stephanie mentioned, is the idea of HiFlex. And that allows students the ability to be in the classroom when they feel comfortable, right? If they feel like it's safe to be in there. It also allows students not to be in the classroom and take the course remotely. And so that's the flexibility component. In theory, any student at any point can be watching the class remotely, can be participating in the class physically with almost no difference in what they're going to learn. This was all done through a massive amount of technology that Point Park invested in, that are, again, as Stephanie mentioned, these ladybug cameras that are now in every classroom. Cameron will speak to these, and that they allow the class to see the other members of the. So I'm remotely in the class. I can see what's going on in the classroom by the camera, and the instructor can turn the camera onto him or her or their self, and everybody can see what's going on with the instructor. It's essentially a glorified webcam, but it has been a really interesting. Sorry about that. My teenage son is moving something around outside. It's been a really interesting experiment in what education is going to look like for the next 2 years, if not longer. Because what we're really starting to figure out is, how do you sync these things together? In what way is a face-to-face component to the class useful? And then what kind of stuff can you offload into the digital world and still have students learn the same amount of material and content, and really engage in the parts of learning that I care about? That's sort of like critical reflection. How do they think about thinking, right? Sort of that meta stuff of like, oh, okay, I learned this class using these tools. That will help me learn in another class. How do they learn sort of intra-group communication and inter-group communication? Because a lot of this material now is all done what we're doing, right? We have a 4 to 6 to 8 person Zoom call that's different than the one that's going on in the class, and those students all work together and return back with a project. There's obviously challenges with this, because we had 2 weeks to train everybody how it worked. And so, your learning curve, some people it's very easy because they might be a professor who's been using technology for the last 25 years. We have some faculty who have never used a computer. And so you're asking all those people to perform the same kind of functions. So that's occasionally a fun challenge to deal with. It's really been helped, and this is one of the things that I want to make sure everybody on this call gets to hear a little bit about, is our digital student leaders. So I had a goofball scheme 3 weeks before classes started about, oh, you know what we should do? We should put a student in every class, and then that student can then help the faculty member. And it kind of got more traction than I thought it was going to, and then I ended up having to do it. And so we essentially got work study students to be these digital student leaders, and they sit in on the classroom, sometimes just for the first 10 minutes to make sure the course is up and going, and then they leave and go to another classroom, or they stay the entire class and essentially manage the digital technology. So they might run the chat like we have here in Teams, right, where there might be a chat bar on down the side. And so the students are able to be like, oh, Steve in remote land is asking you a question about, can you explain this function in calculus better? Or, oh, I can see that this person has their hand raised, because we're teaching people how to use their hands in Zoom meetings and Teams meetings. Oh, this person has their hand raised. Can you please talk to them? And so we now have roughly 30 of those students who are just rotating through classes, and it would have been impossible to do this without them. And they have been amazing, and the students have learned an incredible amount as well, because they're getting a bunch of leadership training, and that it's legitimate stuff that they can now put on a resume, that as a first-year student, oh yeah, I helped a professor run a class in a way that actually is truthful. They're not making that up. That's what they're really doing. So we're 4.5 weeks in, and learning is continuing to happen. It's happening at a different pace than it has in the past. Our conservatory classes are sometimes interesting, because how do you teach musical theater through a video call? Or when you're watching students do dance and everybody's masked up and you still have to remain far apart, but it's all continuing to move forward, and it makes it exciting to be a part of what Point Park's doing, because we didn't just throw up our hands, right, and be like, we can't do this. And so it's kind of it has that reflection of like, it's what Point Park is best at, which is being innovative and kind of coming up with stuff on the fly and just turning it over to students and just being like, okay, students, you'll figure this out more than I can. My job is just to manage this and sign your paychecks. The end. Sorry, everybody, that was a lot. I talked a lot today, and as Stephanie knows, I got a bit of a motor mouth. So ask me questions if you have them.
Questions for Jonas and anybody? I'm going to kick us off. How are the students? I know how our phonathon students are doing, but from your perspective, Jonas, how are the students doing?
So I think the students who are on campus are, or the ones who are still being able to take face-to-face courses, they're directly engaged pretty hard. It's the students that are remote that I have a little bit more concern about, just because it's harder to get them to always get them to be sticky in the course, right? It just is like, we don't really know what you're doing, and you know, it's easy to just kind of probably space out while this is going on, and you have your phone up, right? But your professor can't see you, and some of those kind of things are going on. But I also think that's a learning curve that everybody is sort of dealing with right now. And our faculty will get better at it. Part of my job moving forward is to train faculty a little bit more on this stuff for next semester, and then COVID's probably going to continue to grind on. So it'll be another semester worth of this stuff, and we'll slowly know what tools work better than not, and that's really going to help. And again, students are unbelievably adaptive. And when they find something isn't working, they're usually really good at finding the workaround, in the same way that when something is working, they're just going to do that. And so I think we can kind of let the assessment and the data from this semester really show us where this is going to go. And it's like, oh, okay, this idea was dumb. I should get rid of it. Let's focus in on the ones that work better. There's fun stuff coming up in the chat right now as well. I feel like I need a digital student leader to read them to me.
I agree. We should have had them for this meeting next time.
Yeah, next time. Oh, they would love to. It's also interesting because so many of them are COPA students, and so it's kind of like really enthusiastic student base.
That's the best.
Yes. Oh, are they ever? I am lucky every day to work with them.
That's great. Any other questions for Jonas?
Is the technology? Oh, let me give this an actual read in the text bar, just so I can sound like I'm not an idiot. Is this technology something that funds and grants are supporting? Always happy to assist in this space. So that the short answer on that is no. It all came out of a direct technology budget this year. I would suspect that in the future, there's going to be some asks on that stuff. One thing that we did find out is that the ladybugs they were pretty cheap to buy, but they're cheap to buy, and so you're buying something that's cheap. And so it's glitchy, and so there'll be a moment where there'll be some upgrades on that, but hopefully we'll be able to get, again, that this is sorry, I'm going to interrupt my own conversation. I'm reading the classroom support mega chat, which I'm on. Ladybug mic not working, replaced it. So good synchronicity there. So it'll slowly upgrade, and we're gonna learn quickly that this is gonna be how we do education in the future. So the more we can get into this now, the better off we're gonna be, because that way in 3 years, students are gonna be like, oh yeah, this is just how things work here.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Jonas. I'm sure there are more questions, and if you do have more questions, go ahead and you can either stick them in the chat box, or you can send me an email, and I will pass them along to Jonas. Yes. He will send me answers, and then in my next email to the board in October, I will send you all of those answers from Jonas.
Thank you. Anytime you want me back, you'll know I'll say yes.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Jonas.
It's good seeing everybody.
Thanks. So I'm going to push us through. We have a lot to get through in a half an hour. And so I really feel strongly about sticking to our 7 p.m. deadline. So whether or not we finish, I'm going to end the meeting at 7 to be respectful of all of our time. Anything we don't finish will be in the in a recap email to you all. But to get us moving forward, if you do have the list, the PDF of proposed activities for this year, go ahead and throw that up onto your screen and take a look at it. I'm going to invite our folks to speak about a few things first. Specifically, I want to bring up, before we dive into this list, we do have 3 committee initiatives that we will continue to move forward from previous years. Those are all centered around awards. James usually runs our Distinguished Student Award. Last year, Emily ran interviews with the Student Success Center for scholarships. They were student interviews, and Barb, as you know, is helping us relaunch Alumni of Distinction Award. So I'm going to invite Barb to just, if you would just speak just very briefly about that, the committee that you're chairing.
Hi, it's Barb again, and I was going to actually say that I'm going to keep this very brief in the interest of time. So this is something we've been working on for a few years. We had hoped to have something launched by 2020, but we got kind of interrupted by a pandemic. So we're now looking to try to get something moving closer to the 2021 range. And the goal of this is to really help to bring alumni back to campus as they see other alumni being named for awards. It's going to be a 3-pronged award at this point because we found out by accident there were some awardees in the early 2000s that we didn't know about and Barbara found. So we would like to re-honor them as there's no knowledge or signs or anything about them at the university. So we wanted to re-recognize those. The other one is the Alumni of Distinction Award. And the third one is the Young Alumni Award, which would be those that have graduated less than 10 years ago. We've done a lot of work on this, and I'd be happy to share with anybody what's been done to this date. But we do still have a lot of work to do, such as developing an application form and criteria and scoring and so on and so forth, and a real detailed process. Barbara's been working with me on this, and we're looking for volunteers to help. It's been a fun process, and there's a lot of hard work to do going forward. But if you would like to volunteer, please reach out to Stephanie and or Barbara. Barbara's the other Barbara. I'm a Barb, she's a Barbara. And I'd be happy to share the original document that we did that outlined the award, and be happy to receive any help.
Perfect.
Is that fast enough?
That's perfect. I'm sorry to rush you, Barb. I wish we had more time.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
And then actually that option, all of the options, I wish we had time to talk about all of these standing committees. If you have questions about them, please email me back before you make your vote on the survey. After this meeting, you will be sent a survey with all of the opportunities you see before you on the PDF, including the committee work. So if you have more questions and we weren't able to answer them today, no worries, send me an email or Nick an email and we can happily answer, and then you can finish your survey. So thanks. I'm going to move on. So next we have, whoops. Barbara, will you talk about the Student Success Center and the relationship and the work you're doing with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Center for Student Success manages, they have a bunch of different student success officers, and what they do is they cater to students that are considered at risk. There is like an 8 categories, I guess, that they could fit in that were, or classifications, characteristics that could cause them to be considered at risk. The students don't know about this, so it's actually really nice because then they don't know like, oh my gosh, I'm high risk or anything, like have that stress and everything. But one thing that we're doing that has been a really present need is we have a lot of international students. For example, the men's soccer team is like 80% international, and there were only 2 like boys that were both Dutch. The rest they're all from different countries and everything. A lot of our baseball players come from the Dominican Republic and primarily Spanish-speaking countries, and they come here and they struggle in their classes because they're trying to adjust to a new language. And also the highest international population that we have is from, I believe, Saudi Arabia. And so it's like just that adjustment to, you're in a new place, but it's also new language maybe, or not, it's not your first language and everything. So one of the efforts that we're trying to do, just because it's been a very pronounced need, a recognized need, is trying to find people who are just great for practice, helping these students feel comfortable so they're in a space where they can have a conversation like this and not be self-conscious if they fumble over their words or something like that, just because they need that safe space that they would get at home or in their family or something, talking about their struggles or something like that, but having somebody that they can practice with, whether they're ESL trained or not, just a welcome, friendly face is kind of what we're going for that project. And then hoping to expand into mentorship, just as far as somebody being there for them. There's some students that spend holidays alone, and just kind of creating a community that way. But first off, doing bridging the gaps for our students where English is not their first language. So, yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate that. So you'll have options that correlate to the work with the Student Success Center on the survey and obviously on that PDF. So if you have questions about that, you can certainly reach out to Barbara. Megan, will you share your work with the other office, the Center for Professional Career Readiness?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about our work with the Professional Career Readiness Center. As many of you know, in our products of Point Park focuses on creating students that leave this university very prepared for careers with an innovative and career-ready educational experience. So part of that is the role of alumni. We know that you all are in the industries that these students are looking to go into and have just an incredible wealth of knowledge. And from what a lot of you shared at the beginning of this meeting, a lot of passion for mentoring. So there are some really wonderful opportunities to really connect you with these students, specifically through either a formalized program that the PCRC is looking to facilitate, as well as more like one-time topical conversations. And that's also not limited to just connecting alumni with students. It may also be connecting alumni with another alumni, because sometimes, life happens and you want to go back to school or change careers or approach something very different. So we are working with them really closely to identify these opportunities. Specifically, I want to talk about their mentoring program that is in the larger document of opportunities. They are looking to facilitate a more structured mentoring program that would have the minimum, I think, is 3 meetings with a student, and the students would be referred to this program. So you'd be getting students that wanted to talk more specifics. We would match, they would contact us. We would identify a good person to match them with. If any of you are interested in participating in this program, let me know and I can give you some of the more longer spiel with the more specific materials. But we're really excited, and we've also been able to facilitate some more one-time mentoring opportunities. For example, if a student's really interested in starting their own business, well, we might have an alumna or an alumnus or an alum who did this, and that's a really perfect person to connect that student with an alumni who went through exactly what that student wants to go through. So we've been really, really impressed so far with kind of the innovative ways that we've been able to approach career readiness and also help students tap into their pre-existing network. So, and also some of the topics that you might cover if you're curious. We know that students might have questions about relocating, about resumes, about salary negotiations, just all those things that you're not really sure who to ask for advice, and you don't really know where to go. And a lot of these students, they don't know who to ask. And so we are very excited to connect them with folks like yourselves to kind of help fill that gap and support that need. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I expect more details in Stephanie's next email.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Megan. I appreciate that. Thanks, ladies. So I'm going to turn it over to Nick. We have just about 15 minutes left to have a little bit of a conversation about, you all expressed why you joined the board in the opening, and we have a list of activities that hopefully intersect, and I'm going to leave it to Nick to facilitate some conversation here.
Absolutely. So I wanted to quickly just touch on the later pieces of our agenda, just because I don't think we're going to get there, but I'm just going to be really, really quick. So please, please, if you haven't done so already, join us on social media. We've put those tags in there. We're asking as a way of engaging that maybe you'll announce your new board membership. Let folks know that you're a member of the board, that you're a direct connection to the university, and that you have the resources to get them connected when and if ever they're willing and wanting to connect with us, the university, students, etc. You can do that yourself. You can do that with Stephanie and myself. We're really just trying to make this an egalitarian relationship. I'm not the person that you need to come to ask for permission. We really want you to feel like you're emboldened and empowered to really be involved in whatever way feels organic and authentic. The survey that Stephanie had mentioned is going to come out after the meeting. We ask that you complete that by Friday at 5 o'clock so that we know what our 4 initiatives are as the board to do. That being said, all of the rest are still very important. So if we don't choose those as a board, please still be involved with those initiatives. I'm sure Megan, Barbara, Lauren, Stephanie, all of Point Park, the students, Jonas, everyone would be super excited to have you be involved in those initiatives, even if we're not taking them on collectively. But I thought that it would be helpful just for like our last minute, last one. Events, virtual, there's a couple coming up. Check those out. Philanthropy, if you want to help out, there's an Amazon wish list, the COVID response fund, and also a Walmart registry is coming. And all of this information will likely be in our October email from Stephanie. So more information to come there. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, so here's an opportunity for you to share with us. Let us know what you need, what you want, what your hopes are, and how we can help achieve that during this next year.
Great. Thanks, Nick. Any questions, comments? This is your time.
I would probably say, like I had said earlier, I'm really excited. And Nick, I think you and I share a passion for groups, alumni groups kind of scattered throughout the country, not just in Pennsylvania. We know with everything going on that this might not be something we can accomplish this year. But as a project manager, I also know that sometimes these events take planning. Are there any considerations or any restrictions going forward? I mean, can we take this year to start planning some of these events next year, or do you want to shy away from that and just focus on virtual and building the board?
Nick, do you want to answer?
Yes, absolutely. So one of my biggest things since I joined the board was regional membership. So often our events have been, focused in Pittsburgh and that greater area just because of the finances, the budgets, the time, the treasure, the talent. But now we have a board that's inclusive and has folks from Denver, Orlando. We have DC area, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York. I'm sure there's ones that I also haven't mentioned. So we have folks here, Connecticut, yes. So we have folks here that are from all over. And my hope is that because we now are virtual, that we can start creating these alumni pockets, these regional groups where in the past, folks have always waited for the alumni office to come with an event, to come with a person to get people connected. Now, let's be those representatives ourselves that are setting those maybe Zoom meetings up with other folks that you know in the area, or if you need the help of Lauren or Barbara or Megan or Courtney to get connected with those folks. We can do that. We can do that virtually. I think events can still happen and they don't have to be sanctioned by the Alumni Engagement and Giving Office, right? We can be the makers of this. We can make this happen. We don't need the permission. The permission is ours. It's already there to create these events, make these things happen, and really create this community that, from my perspective, what I've heard from so many alums is that it feels like there isn't a community. We're not a university that has major sporting events, those homecoming football games like they do at those larger institutions. And actually one of our hopes is, and in the future, post-COVID, when we can come together, is creating a homecoming event that actually centers around our awards, the awards committee, having those distinguished alumni awards, connecting with the students. That's something that's on our radar for the future, hopefully, given what comes next. But right now, we can still do those events. It's just on us as a board to make those happen.
Absolutely. Well said. And I'm just going to add, let us help you. You certainly don't need our permission, but we are happy to support. We're happy to connect. We're happy to send swag. We're happy to, set up Zoom calls and wave hello. We are happy to help you do that. So with that initiative, as with all the initiatives that you'll vote on, as Nick said, if it's not one of the top 4 chosen by the entire alumni board, please let us know. There is a section in the survey for you to note your interest. If you are wanting to do that initiative without the collective of the board, we can move everything on that list along. So I would be surprised, but should regional alumni groups not hit that top 4 list, Adam, reach out and we will make that happen.
That's good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I had a follow-up question, and you tell us how much you want us to get into your weeds, right? Sure. You and I have talked before about, if each of you have portfolios and you've wealth screened people and you're trying to, mobilize people again, please, reach out to us if we can help, because sometimes that's a good icebreaker. Right. And I think because we can't travel right now, we can set up Zoom a little easier and reconnect with people. So, I'll lean on you guys, but I'm more than happy to help in any way, to do those, to re-engage.
That's great. Thank you so much, Christina. That's a good point. We are always looking for, we all know that the act of volunteering usually happens when another volunteer asks, right, for that to happen. So the same is true with fundraising. It matters more when you, the alumni base, make the ask instead of the paid staff. It just means that much more. It means that much more when you, the alumni, also say, will you give because I too have given? That means just that much more. And we operate under what really matters is that you give, not how much you give of anything, of any one thing, time, talent, or treasure. So thanks for saying that, Christina. That would be enormously helpful as we move along. What else? What else can we answer? Questions you have on that PDF? Any questions about the activities we've proposed? Some of those descriptors are a little vague. No.
I'll also add that one of our hopes is that because we are online, now that we've removed the restrictions as it relates to staff and faculty engagement, is that now more than ever, we can really be present in the students' lives from a virtual space. We are now more accessible. I think we were always accessible, but we forgot that online was always a possibility. We were so focused on in person. But now more than ever, we can give our time, treasure, and talent through a virtual platform. If that's stopping by a class to just give a little short tidbit on what it was like getting into your particular field, connecting with the students through brief mentorship opportunities, giving a one-time volunteer experience. Like now more than ever is the time that we need it, and also an opportunity to really be more engaged because everyone is online and willing and able to engage that way.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask Lauren, if you don't mind, to quickly talk about the events coming up in October, since those things are not on your survey, but they will be in your October email.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Before I do, I was just about to chime in. In some of you that did the pre-alumni board interviews with Stephanie and I might have brought this up, but during one of the interviews, I kind of had this moment where I felt really compelled to encourage all of you to not be afraid to speak up in a moment where you think that you might have an idea or you might have a different way of looking at something. You know, this is an extremely safe space. I have known Nick for a couple years now, and he is such a warm and understanding and passionate individual. And I know that he will always listen to any and all ideas. And that goes for all of our office staff as well. So, you know, please don't be afraid to share your ideas. We as an office don't pretend to be complete experts in this situation. I'll specifically speak for myself. The rest of the office, they might be experts. I'm not, though. You know, I don't pretend to be an expert. I'm not perfect. So I look to all of you in your areas of expertise to help me do my job better, because without all of you, I cannot do my job and we cannot do our job as an office and as a board. So this is a completely safe space. I am typically the one that throws all different shapes of pasta noodles against the wall, and I'm not really sure what shape they want to use for the soup that day, but I just throw them all on there and I just kind of hope for the best. So don't be afraid. Your ideas will not go unheard by myself, this office, and I'll say Nick as well. So I wanted to preface with that. Now I'll do my assigned task as talk about the upcoming events for October. So in the month of October, Barbara, Megan, and myself will be hosting a series of events, Meet the Chair or Meet the Dean, depending on the department. So these are going to be virtual events. They will be one a week. They'll be held on Thursday evenings. So each of our focus areas, so communications, the Department of Education, or the School of Education, excuse me, the School of Business, and then the Conservatory of Performing Arts will each have their own night for a virtual event. And this event will feature the dean or the chair of that particular department and alumni from across the community. So maybe alumni of that department, or maybe alumni that are now working in that field that maybe didn't graduate from that department. But keep your eyes tuned out for those. Stephanie will include the specific dates. These will be free. We're not charging for any of these. They'll be an hour long. And it's a great way to kind of get some insight into the field or the department itself, to really learn what those students are doing and what initiatives that particular chair or dean feels really passionate about. So Jonas gave a great overview of kind of all students, but these events will be very specific. So for the Roland School of Business, we'll talk about all the different initiatives that the dean has going on, different initiatives that you can participate in, as well as what that learning environment looks like. Same for COPA and Department of Education. And School of Comms. So they're going to be really, really interesting events. We're really excited for them. So kind of stay tuned. Of course, you're not forced to attend, but they're going to be amazing. And I say that because we're all hosting them. So I encourage your participation. And I also encourage you to share the events with your friends and alumni community members, because this is a great way to kind of obviously get insight into the department themselves, but also to hear what those students are actually learning, what they're actually facing, and identify some actual needs and ways that we can help. So stay tuned for dates on that. But the first one's coming up on October 8th. So thank you. I'm done.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lauren. That was great. And yep, all of that stuff will be in the October email to you all. It'll be sent out at the very beginning of October. So be on the lookout for that. You can always check in with our events page that's located off of our main webpage on pointpark.edu/alumni. Information should be up soon about those events coming soon. So as we wrap up, we have just about 3 minutes left here. Any final questions, final comments of the evening?
I think Barbara was going to say something about the events.
Oh, yes, Barbara, please.
Don't go run into the events page to register today, but you can feel free to run there on Friday. The registration link will be live with details typed out and everything like that. Hold me to it. Friday, you can feel free, but don't today. You'll just embarrass me. But yeah, so those will be coming up. You do have to register for them. We're not going to be live streaming them on like Facebook, but it will be in a presentation or webinar style Zoom call. And so you'll be registering. Lauren, of course, has like adorable things. And hers are all themed and stuff. So make sure you do register so you can get that Zoom link sent out. With everything going on, we wanted to make sure that it is like invite only, with all like the Zoom call crashes that have been going on in classrooms in around the world. So, but yeah, Friday, like link will be live.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's work. You're seeing work like in the action, in the making.
And one more thing onto, oh, I'm sorry, Nick.
Okay.
One more thing onto that. If you aren't able to attend, we are going to be recording them, and we will be sharing them. So don't fear if Thursday is like your night to spin and you can't miss it. It's okay. We will be recording it, and then we will obviously encourage you to share those with people who might enjoy learning that. So, but you should attend. So.
Thanks, Lauren, for that final plug.
So it looks like Christina asked about a panel on diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
It is my hope there is a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee at Point Park. They are going to be accepting a couple alumni. I'm not sure what the cap or capacity is going to be at this moment, but it is my hope to be one of those folks on that committee, and also for anyone that is interested, like, please reach out to me, reach out to Stephanie. And we're going to be following up on that, looking into it a little bit more closely about how we can be more engaged in that realm. And just like Lauren said, Thursday night is actually a night that I run a group therapy for trans and gender diverse clients. So I can't make that, but I will definitely be sharing it on my social media. And I hope that you all do the same, because truly they're going to be excellent events.
Perfect. All right, that takes us right to 7 o'clock. If you have any more questions, please feel free to send me an email. We'll get those questions answered. We'll get those answers back out to you. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight at the September Alumni Board meeting. It was really so lovely to have you all with us. And with that, we will go ahead and stop the recording.